Ahoy there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Olusegun Oyekami of Nosa Capital, coming to you another very cold evening here in the Southern Hemisphere. And at this time, we're going to be talking about Cardano, which has been quite interesting. I've had one bit of analysis in one of the video newsletters, the V-newsletters as I call them. And I think it deserves a place of its own, just as Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I think I'm going to add another two. I think the Binance coin will also be added. But let's get back to Cardano. And as we can see here, ladies and gentlemen, Cardano is up in the weekly chart. As usual, we start with Ichimoku. Everything kind of looks good, although this is a little bit flat, but generally the trend is upwards. That's because of this little bit of sideways movement here over the last few weeks. Everything here is above the cloud, so the Tenkan Kinji above the cloud, price action above the cloud, and of course Chiku span, which is running free. Now here, this is the real deal here. Look at that. That is running free. That tells you that yes, your prices are definitely going to be going up. But we have to look at some other things. If you look down here, again at the yellow, this is the combination of two indicators. That's the Laguerre RSI, which is a non-linear indicator, as well as the choppiness index. But if you look at the choppiness index, the choppiness is at about 58.04, just a little bit below the 61.8, but nonetheless almost full tank there, which means that there's plenty of energy in the price movement on this particular chart. Now, let us not forget that the higher time frames determine the overall direction of that particular instrument. And the higher time frame here tells us that the instrument is going to be going up. That is, the Cardano price will be heading higher. Nevertheless, let's look at the lower time frames to see what we get. And if we go down to the 1-day chart, as you can see here, beautiful chart. This tells you the beautiful chart. The cloud here, or the Kumo, is pointing upwards. Price action pointing upwards, well out of the cloud. Cloud is quite thin, as you can see. Tenkan is above the Kijun-sen. Price action is not far from the Kijun-sen at all, which means it is not in an overbought situation. And of course, look at that Chiku span. This thing is running free, and when this runs free, trust me, the price runs free. This has all the ingredients to ensure a higher price. The Laguerre RSI, which is this, shows you that when it's flat like this and it's doing that, that means it's going up, and it expects the price to go higher. However, look at the choppiness index. The choppiness index down here is at about 36.62, which is below the 38.1 region. I think we're going to have a special video about that, but look at that. That is concerning. It means that the market might just be running out of some energy. So let's see if we can confirm this. Excuse me. Let's go down to the 4-hour chart. And we can see, look at the angle, look at the Kumo, look at the angle. Beautiful angle telling you that the price is upwards. Tenkan above the Kijun-sen, Chiku span running free. Chiku span is just, the price action is just beginning to look a little bit far from the Kijun-sen. Not enough to cause any alarm, but you have to keep an eye out on the price. Now, why is this? Again, I tell you to look down at this indicator here, these two indicators here, and we've got like RSI indicating the price is heading upwards. But look at the choppiness index. The choppiness is telling us it's 37.11, which is more or less confirming what's going on at the daily level. Now remember, when markets are beginning to reverse, they reverse from the inside out, that is from the lower time frames, and their effect cascades upwards. It cascades upwards. And so we have to be very careful by watching this. And again, you can see to some extent it's reflected in the price. The price suddenly is coming down. Not too bad, nothing to alarm, to cause any alarm for anyone. So let's go back to the weekly and have a quick look at the Bitcoin bull market support. It has now gone above, as you can see. You've got, let's increase that size. Look at that. As I've told you before, if you don't know, for those of you who are just watching it for the very first time, the moving average cloud that has been developed here is a combination of the 20 weekly simple moving average and the 21 weekly exponential moving average. And as you can see here, once the exponential moving average goes below the 21 EMA goes below the 20 SMA, then you generally see the prices falling. But now you can see it's almost getting back to the point where it's going to go above. And how can we confirm this? We can confirm this by looking at the last two candles. Not that is today. This is this week's candle. The last couple of weeks, you can see that the closing prices were above the 21 EMA. This is a very, very, very positive sign. Therefore, it is expected for the price to go up. Now, why do we have that expectation? We have that expectation because of the price of Bitcoin going up. If Bitcoin goes up, the price of the altcoins generally go up. If Bitcoin comes down, the price of the altcoins also drop. Now, if Bitcoin drops to a certain level, like if there's a catastrophic event happening and Bitcoin drops massively, you can bet your bottom dollar that the altcoins themselves will also drop massively. So you've got to watch out. You've got to watch out for that. Now, finally, one more thing I was just going to try and look at briefly is how Cardano is doing against Ethereum. And if you look at it, the last few weeks it was losing, and all of a sudden it's kind of gained its position by coming right back up. If you go down here, as you can see, Lagar was falling, but look at the energy in the market. Look at that. The energy is about 59.54, just under the 61.8. Plenty in the gas tank to ensure the price goes up against Ethereum. It's going to be interesting to see how things eventually look over time. But our analysis is not necessarily, but I just like to kind of look at it because of the potential rivalry between the two cryptocurrencies. Anyway, I think that, like I said before, please trade with some caution. But I can imagine the sudden rise in price of Cardano to most other, let's go back here, to most other coins, I think it's quite remarkable. So you were looking at something of a low of $1.36 to $2.18 at the moment. I can assure you that many a Cardano holder, particularly if you held quite early, and I'm being fortunate to be one of those who've held quite early, we kind of got a smile on our face. And the question is, are we entertained? Are we not entertained, ladies and gentlemen? I assure you, we are very entertained. And as always, keep your eyes and ears open and your trading sharp. Have a good one. Bye.